This is Colonial Drive, a very busy street here in Central Florida, and today we're going to be visiting Atomic Horror, a brand new store that opened here in Central Florida that has to do with all things horror. Hi everybody and welcome to the world of Micah. Let's check out Atomic Horror, a brand new store that just opened here in Orlando that has to do with all things horror. Now, let's take a closer look. Alright, immediately after stepping into this store, look at that. Welcome to Camp Crystal Lake. They have an entire section dedicated to Jason Voorhees. I love this Jason Voorhees from part 6, the CJ Graham Jason Voorhees. That was a pretty cool standee they had here. Also, the amount of detail to this Jason's pretty rad, but if you look behind him, there's a lot of details too. Look at this. Pumpkinhead is here. We've got some Evil Dead action happening in the woods. The Blair Witch Project. Jason Voorhees' mother. Moving along, we have the Wolfman hanging out in the woods. The Cabin in the Woods is out here. And also Angela Baker from Sleepaway Camp. They also have some NECA figures, which is pretty cool because some of those are hard to find. Atomic Horror also has their own line of shirts. You can get a white t-shirt. They also have one in black. Really dig this shirt. I'm gonna have to grab one next time I visit. Also, if you're a fan of Basket Case, well, they have a Belial prop here, which is pretty awesome. Love Basket Case. That's a rare good find. Now, if you're a big fan of They Live, John Carpenter's They Live, they have an entire section dedicated to this film. Really, really cool. Now that TV up there, I'll have to show you guys what it does here in just a minute, but I couldn't believe how much detail they put into this section. Lots of photo ops here in this store. Now, the TV, if you take the glasses and put it up to your eyes, well, you can watch John Carpenter's classic They Live. Just make sure you're not all out of bubble gum. Now moving on to the next spot, obviously Silver Shamrock's mask. I love Halloween 3. I actually have a Halloween 3 tattoo if you guys didn't know that. This section to me was my favorite. I'm a sucker for anything that has to do with the Halloween franchise, including Halloween Kills, Halloween 3, Halloween 2, the 1978 classic. I love them all, and I loved all the merchandise they had here, including the NECA figures and a lot of the artwork and photographs they had along the side of this cabinet. Some of these photographs I haven't seen in quite some time, and they're pretty amazing. Now, they do have a famous scene here from the 1978 classic of Michael busting through the closet when he's attacking Laurie Strode. This is a great photo op for you as well. Moving along, there's a lot of different NECA figures from the Universal Classic Monsters, Freddy Krueger, and other figures they have through here. I love the Classic Monster section. I can't get enough Universal Classic Monsters in my life. Now, if you're in the need for birthday cards or any kind of card for any occasion, they have you covered when it comes to horror-themed cards. It's pretty rad. They also have some wrapping paper too. Now moving on to this section, this is all dedicated to the Mistress of the Dark, Elvira herself. They actually had a cardboard standee from the film. I haven't seen that in a long time. I believe they had that in some VHS shops back in the day. They also had the exclusive Elvira NECA figure and the Toony Terrors Elvira figure as well. A lot of graffiti, a lot of posters, a lot of photographs that just deck out the walls in here. You could spend quite some time just looking at everything. I believe the way they designed this was super cool, definitely for all horror fans. Now if you make your way to the darkest part of the store, I'm talking about the restroom area, you will see a prop from Ghoulies 2. The men's restroom was also dedicated to room 237, which if you didn't know, a little Shining action there. They also have a tiki area, which is near and dear to my heart. I love all things tiki, and if you blend that with horror, well, you just became my best friend. This tiki area is super, super cool. The amount of detail they put into this blew my mind because every room is totally different. You can totally hang out in each area of the store, take as many photographs as you want, and just kind of hang out. They make this store a place where you can just hang. Creature from the Black Lagoon is my favorite classic monster. He definitely gets some love in this tiki section of the store. It was a pretty busy day for a weekday when we visited. I love this little prop they had from Return of the Living Dead, which is probably the most punk rock horror film of all time. If you haven't seen that one, I highly recommend it. Check it out. It's kind of a horror comedy. Now, Joe Bob Briggs has his own little section here. We have to give some credit to The Last Drive-In starring Joe Bob Briggs. I found some Texas Chainsaw Massacre merchandise in here, which is always a fantastic time. But The Evil Dead has its own section in this store. They also have a TV that was playing one of my favorite movies, Ed Wood. But this Evil Dead section had a lot of props and stuff that you could see in the film, including some pages from the Necronomicon. And also they had the tape deck that was playing the exact same tape from the film and some photographs of the pages from the Necronomicon. More graffiti, more posters, more old photographs along the walls here, including Serial Mom, which is a fantastic John Waters film. This store is pretty incredible. That was a lot of fun. Store hours are currently Wednesday through Sunday from 11 to 7. Tell them I sent you. Well, that was a lot of fun, man. Atomic Horror, pretty awesome. Pretty cool displays, lots of good merchandise. And I went away with some goodies. We'll show you guys what we got. Obviously, Abby and I can't get enough Vampira. So, got the Ghoul Gang shirt. LA 1954. I'll show the back here. Miss Vampira, Ghoul Gang. And I also went with the classic Vampira's Ghoul Gang patch put on one of my jackets. We also went with the Creepsville Vampira ceramic vase. It's gonna go nicely in the house. This is pretty cool. I just realized everything we got in there was from Creepsville. It's pretty funny. Well, we came, we saw, we took care of business here today at Atomic Horror in Central Florida. One of the newest horror boutiques to open in the state of Florida. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had a lot of fun watching. But it is time to say goodbye. If you enjoyed this episode, please click that thumbs up button. The next time you're here at Atomic Horror, tell someone World of Micah sent you, and I will see you on the next episode. Until then, stay weird. Happy Halloween. Goodbye.